Coach Parker, we're back together again. This is good stuff.
We're back, and today's topic is going to be fun. You've drugged me into college football.
Oh my goodness. College football is so entertaining now with the playoff. And I think it's something that people watch that may not have been college football fans for a long time, but I think people are entertained by it now.
Yeah, I've been using the reverse psychology thing with A&M and trying not to get upset. So I've kind of stayed out of it. I've been more an NFL guy. But this bracket that we're going to talk about today is quite interesting. And then with the Lane Kiffin going, it's like they planned Lane leaving and drawing all this press. They couldn't have scripted it better, right?
It's great marketing. And that is, I think, this kind of like this playoffs, the coaching searches, this kind of intrigue is what gets people to watch. And I think it's cool.
Yeah, it's the Jerry Jones circus. And let me get this tangent that I had is I want to get Jerry Jones out of the Cowboys. And we talked about this the last podcast. I think the NCAA should hire Jerry Jones as their ultimate marketer, Saban as a commissioner, and turn the thing into a new NFL kind of whole deal. And
That would
Jerry
get
can
some
get out of
ratings.
Dallas. Yeah, it would, wouldn't it? And Jerry and Saban can do the whole thing. So sorry about that, guys. I had a
Heck yeah, I think
dream.
that's great. I think it's entertainment, right? At the end of the day, for the fan, it's entertainment, and this is entertaining. All the things that are happening now
Yes.
are definitely entertaining.
Yes, they are. So that sounds great. So how do you want to begin this thing? I know you sent me the bracket.
Oh man,
I
let's
sent
go
it out
through
to
it. Let's
my
just
friends.
go through it. Talk about the games. Yeah.
I read through it too, so we can go through the bracket. I printed off a bracket. I don't know if you have one in front of you, but
Let me
I printed. I
Google
think I don't
this.
know. Let's see. So you do you want to talk about the 12 or just rate up the 12, or you just want to go game
Oh
by
my
game?
gosh, I think you got the first thing I hear people talking about. I think you have to talk about is there's two group of five teams in the playoff. That is a wild thing
Yeah,
that happened. You know.
yeah. The James Madison and Tulane thing is like off the wall. Even for me, that
Hmm.
doesn't pay attention to it too much, it was like, what? Why did we get JV teams into this bracket? So
Yeah,
I'm not, like I said, I'm not into college football that much. But what's your take on it? Because it seems like I mean, it's like why?
I think that's the way the bylaws were written, and I think they're stuck to it. They're stuck with that, and I think you have to change that going forward. I mean, the fact that Notre Dame and Vanderbilt and Texas aren't in, and you have two group of five teams, that's just not cool. I don't think that's what the college football playoff is about, and that's definitely not what consumers want. That's not what the fan base wants.
Yeah, I definitely think those are the three teams that probably should have been looked at. I'm sure Texas is going, well, Alabama's got three losses. So, Sark was
Right,
like,
right.
well, I should be there. And, as an Aggie, I was like, wah, wah, wah. But he has a point. I mean, they're a good team.
Hmm.
And they have flashes. And so, yeah, they're better probably than Tulane and James Madison. You know, God forbid, I'm not taking anything away from those teams. I wish them well, but as an overall kind of base, I think, yeah, those didn't match up, which is another reason why to expand this thing to 16 or 24 to really get into non-subjective issues, right?
Yeah, and I heard somebody say that expand it or just keep it the same and change the rules. Make sure that you get the best teams in. It doesn't really matter about what conference you're in. So let's put the best teams into the playoff because that's what college football needs and that's what the fans want.
Well, I've been around so long that it seems like after 60 years or 50, whatever, that I was like in tune with it, it seems like no matter what you did, there was always two or three that were always pissy about it. So
Yeah,
it's
but
like, even if you
yeah,
change the rules, don't you think there's going to be two or three? But if it's just like black and white, but probably even there's two or three teams that are pissy because ref calls or whatever at that point that they didn't get
Hmm.
hooked up right.
I think the issue with Notre Dame, to me, is I think Notre Dame has a roster where they could actually win a national championship or at least play in the game, and they're not in the playoff. That to me is the most gee whiz. I think that's the
Well,
best team out, in my opinion.
yeah, and I was sad for Vanderbilt too. They had such a great season, so there was something there for that. And then definitely Texas beating A&M the way they did, and they were coming up. You know, they were kind of peaking at the right moments. And these other teams also have weird things like Texas had about losses and didn't do well in some games. So
Mhm.
yeah, unfortunately, they're out.
Mhm.
Sorry for that, guys. But what it was watching something today. The past is the past. Got to close that door, and now we're looking at what's the real thing, right? We're
That's
on
right.
to it now.
This is reality. Let's just go do it.
Let's go do it. But I don't know. I have not been a huge Notre Dame fan forever, so I'm not too
Mhm.
sad about it. But because when I was a kid, and you probably were happy about it because I think you're Catholic, right?
I am. Us Catholics
So
were
Catholic
sad about Notre
Nation,
Dame
yeah,
being left out.
yeah, everybody, yeah. But it was like, why is Notre Dame every Saturday on national TV? I mean, my dad used to get so mad about why Notre Dame, but yeah, your tribe has a big draw, and
Yeah.
they're
I mean,
committed to football, and they're
they
good. I
are.
mean, they have been good for a long time.
They
So,
have. And I mean, they had the NBC TV deal, and they've been
yeah,
good. I mean, they got to the national championship game last year.
yeah,
But
and
I
you got
think,
God on your side.
well, I mean, I do have a picture of Pope Leo sitting in front of me on
Yeah,
my board here at work.
yeah.
And so, yeah, there's a crucifix over there on my wall.
Yeah, he
But yeah,
needed.
I
You
mean,
guys needed to pray a little bit harder and a little bit more Hail
that's
Marys
right.
for
A
this
couple more
last
Hail
year.
Marys and we would have gotten
But
the
anyway,
playoffs. You know what I mean?
yeah. Anyway, so how do we? What I mean, so there's what 12 teams now that are in these games that are the
Yeah, yeah.
officials.
Yeah,
And
I
do we
think,
want to talk about why? I guess Tulane and James Madison are in because of some squirrely rules.
yep. They're like the highest ranked conference champions because the ACC messed over everybody.
Yeah,
And that's, I mean, Duke won it at 8-5, but the best team in the league didn't even play in the championship game because the rules were weird. That's strange, right? That
yeah.
Miami wasn't even in the championship game. So yeah, the ACC needs to get their stuff figured out for sure.
Yeah, I guess they're getting sued by a couple of schools right now.
Ooh,
So
that's never fun.
that's kind
Gee
of what I
whiz.
thought. I think that's what I heard.
Mm,
So you've got to be thinking if you're Oregon and who's in Ole Miss, you've got to be thinking. Let's see, Oregon's got James Madison. I
mhm.
mean, who did they pay off to get that game? I guess.
Right. Yeah,
And
yeah. I
then the
mean,
same thing with Ole Miss. I guess they are getting lucky since they lost Lane. They've got Tulane there. So, like, how are those other teams like pissed that they've got these JV games? They didn't get the JV game. I would be kind of upset about it.
yeah, I would think Oregon and Ole Miss are really happy. It's like a practice game, right?
Right.
So you get like a practice game. I mean, Ole Miss already beat Tulane by 30 earlier in
But
the
any
year.
given Sunday, that
You're right.
psychology thing. But yeah, I mean, if I was A&M, I'd be pissed that I didn't get
Yeah.
the cakewalk game.
Yeah. And is how scientific is the selection process? We don't really know because that's not common knowledge. That's not out there. So, how do we know they use the right process to select the teams for what seed they are? But that's part of the game you play. If you want a committee to make a decision, there's always a little bit of subjectivity in there.
And another entertaining topic for all the pundits, which I guess we get to be pundits today and
We're
talk
pundits today. I like that.
outside of our normal realm and it's kind of fun, of more entertainment,
More entertainment, and it's
more
something to
things to
talk
talk
about.
about.
It gets the ratings and all that good stuff.
So yeah, I wonder if TNT, who's got both of those games, are upset that they got both the bomb games.
You know they're going, oh my gosh, what
Well,
the heck
yeah, I
is
paid
going
all this
on?
money and I have got the two worst games.
Hmm.
Yeah, on let's see, on the 20th at 7:30 p.m. TNT's got the Oregon Madison game, and then at 3:30 p.m. On 12:20 they've got Tulane and Ole Miss. ESPN's got the other two. Yeah, so they have to be, those executives there have to be going, what the heck? How did we get stuck with this? I'd be calling the league and saying, "Hey, can I switch a game?"
Yeah, it's. I mean, they paid for it. I was listening to Josh Pate talk about this. They paid for it without knowing the matchups, right? They just paid for that
Yeah,
time slot.
right.
And I think Texas A&M got hosed with their time slot. They should be the night game, in my opinion. I think Texas A&M should be the primetime game. That's the better game. That's with Miami, but
Right.
we're not television executives, so we don't make those decisions.
Yeah, although the on the 12/19 is Friday, yeah, but that Saturday game, I guess.
Mm, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the A&M game should be the primetime game.
You
Although
would think so.
but is noon the prime time? I don't know. That's hard on a Saturday. We go out sometimes at dinner, so
That's true. Yeah.
maybe I don't know. We're not executives, but how that would work. But definitely if it was a Sunday or Monday, that
Mm-hmm.
7 o'clock spot
Oh,
is
yeah.
definitely tough there.
That's 11 a.m. kick, too, because that's Central Time.
Yeah,
And I mean,
yeah,
it's 12 Eastern Time. That's 11 at Central Time.
yeah. So I never, as a player, I preferred afternoon games, nothing in the morning. I always got like semi concussions when I practiced or played in the morning. I don't know what
Mm.
that was about. But I always
Hmm.
got really bad headaches in the morning, but after 3 o'clock I was always good to go. So that I wonder if other people have that situation, but
Right.
I guess I'm not enough to play at 11.
No, probably. I mean, and that's the TV contracts dictate all that. So
Yeah.
they're going to play whenever the TV channel says you're going to play.
So we've talked about these two games. So since we looked at the bracket here, so you got James Madison and Oregon.
I'm taking Oregon for sure in that one.
Yeah. So we can
Yeah.
we can make. I'll write. I don't even know if I need to write it down, but
I have
so
my
that
ESPN bracket pulled up here that I
yeah,
did. So I'm just going
a
through
little
that.
sheet. Yeah, I got a little sheet. So then that puts them with Tech on the next game, but we definitely
Hmm.
think you and I both agree Oregon is taking that game. They
Oh,
better,
yeah.
right? I mean,
They're
that's
definitely
really the
better.
game.
Yeah, they got the best draw, in my opinion. Oregon did.
Yeah, and they're hot right now. So there's that. They Oregon's had some really nice offensive stuff over the
Oh, yeah.
last several
Hmm.
years. The way they do things, I really like it. Okay, so then the other potato game or whatever game you want to call this, Ole Miss and Tulane.
Oh, you got to take the Rebels. Come on now.
Yeah, and I even think is it Goldie or whatever that coach is kind of the interim guy.
Yeah, Pete
Uh,
Golding. Yeah.
Yeah, Goldie. I think that team as players and everything are going to be pissed. That could be a blowout because they're pissy about the whole Lane Kiffin thing.
It could be. Then they got to go. They get to go play Georgia the next
Yeah,
round.
and then they have walked into the mess of it, unfortunately. But I guess the gods gave them a first win. They can somewhat feel happy maybe if they
Mm,
don't totally take a dump on Tulane. But
mm,
yeah, that Georgia get that. Yeah, I think in like every bracket I did for you on the ESPN thing, because you got two,
mm.
Georgia was kind of in there.
I
It's
have
hard not.
Georgia.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. No, I have Georgia in it. My first one, but I have Indiana as the national champion.
Oh, all right. So that's my two. So my two were Georgia, Indiana. One was Georgia, or the other's Indiana. So yeah, but they were both in the final. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I think Indiana they're just having a Cinderella season that
Hmm?
could go further. All right, so we got those two bottom games out of the way in that first round. So now we're looking at Alabama and Oklahoma. Yeah, so we were talking about the Alabama Oklahoma game. Uh, and the AI said Oklahoma could be the spoiler, which I thought was interesting. But this is going to
Hmm.
be a pretty interesting game. I think this will be a tough game. So, do you think it'll be a defensive game or an offensive game? And where do you think this one's going?
Oh my goodness, I see Oklahoma winning this because they're at home, and Alabama is struggling to score right now. And Oklahoma's defense, Brent Venables is their head coach. He's really good as a defensive guy, and I think they'll just. I don't know if Alabama will even score, and then I think they can score enough to win.
Yeah, so my notes are in Oklahoma, great defensive team. That home field advantage there in Norman should really be a big boost. Fans crazy there. It's only
Hmm.
about an hour and a half from me, actually. But the, the scuttlebutt is their quarterback is not as consistent, and they have turnover issues there.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
turnovers will lose. I mean, you can play great and have two turnovers in a bowl game, and that's it. You don't get any do overs. No
Turnovers
mulligans
do
on
it.
the turnovers.
No mulligans, and that a lot of times decides the game. I mean, it really does. That'll decide the outcome, especially when a game is evenly matched personnel wise. That's going to be the determining factor.
Yeah, and so Alabama still has an elite roster,
Hmm.
but they also have turnover and penalty problems and quarterback issues. So this game they kind of match up kind of like well, and so now you're just getting to home field advantage and who's the better coach and who
Right? Yeah.
and then who has, I guess, history of playing in big games recently and knows how to handle that pressure. And for me, that would probably be Alabama.
Oh man, look at you going against my pick. I like that, Coach. You do it.
Yeah,
Let's roll
I'm
tide,
thinking.
baby.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna go. But so you're gonna go Oklahoma,
Oklahoma. Oh, Oklahoma with a win goes something down the plains.
and then Parker is going Bama.
Nice.
And so yeah, and then they play, and then they're walking into the Hornets' nest with Indiana there on that next game. Either
Yeah.
one of those guys.
I mean,
So they're probably thinking, who wants to go do that? Or maybe they're like, oh, I'm going. I really want to show the world that Indiana is really not the team.
mm,
You know, they aren't in the SEC because both is Oklahoma. Oklahoma is not in the SEC yet, are they?
they are. Yeah, them and
Yes,
Texas are.
yes, yeah. So I forget because they've just been adding them.
Mm.
Uh, so yeah, so I think those two teams coming out of the SEC, they're going to say to Indiana, uh, "This is what the SEC is all about, guys."
Yeah, and it's interesting this year. It's the same as a couple of years ago when you looked at Michigan playing Alabama. You're seeing the Big Ten versus SEC matchup and seeing which conference is the best because both will claim they're the best. So now we'll get to see
Yeah,
who's the best
I think
conference.
that game will be a good one, and that's on the first at 4 p.m. So that'll
Hmm.
be a good game there. All right, so we've kind of gone separate ways on that game. While we're here, is it going to be Indiana going all the way? I guess are we both picking Indiana to kind of go?
I am. That's my pick. I'm going to
Me
pick
too.
Indiana to win the whole
So we
thing.
can just
Yeah.
put that there. So yeah, I know we're getting ahead of ourselves on that, and I'm sure we'll have another podcast, especially
Oh,
if you
sure.
guys like this on this bracket. All right. So the final game in the first round that we haven't gotten to yet is my alma mater, Gigglemags, Texas A&M versus Miami, and I will not be watching this game, so I don't jinx them.
That's funny.
I want them to win. I will say that. For you guys who haven't been listening to the podcast, you use reverse psychology and don't watch the game.
That's right.
Yeah. So I'm picking A&M.
Me
Although
too. Let's
my
go.
okay, so that's an easy one.
Giga Mags, man. And they got the home field. I mean, come on now. The 12th man. Definitely got to go with the Aggies there.
Yeah, knock on wood. I agree. I got to go put on my socks and my Schimmel shirt that all my lucky stuff that day and wear around the house because I think they're going to need it because Miami has a reputation of if they're on, they're on. It could be a long game.
And they're talented, well
Yeah,
coached.
yeah,
It's going to come down probably to a one possession game, I would think.
yeah. So it's going to be crazy. So let me ask you this question because I thought it was interesting on the bracket that we did at ESPN that asked for the total points for the
Mm-hmm.
11 games. And my wife and I I'm a finance major. She's a CPA. So we were going all through these numbers. So do we think these bowl games, and AI said that it was going to be like 70 points average a game, which I thought was extremely high.
Which gives you what times 12? What is that number? I'm not a math person. I'm
Uh, I,
70 times
I
12.
think
What
it
is
was
that?
like 700 points or something. It was a high
Right.
number. I came in at more like 45 points and 35 points a
Mm-hmm.
game. So really it comes to, do we think these teams are more offensive or defensive? Why do you think this is going to work? That's really
I,
the question.
yeah, I think there'll be more low scoring. I think the
That's what
defenses
I
have
meant
really caught
too.
up to the
I,
offenses. And I'm seeing like 20 to 14, 28, 21. I'm seeing games like that. I don't think there's going to be any 50 plus point games. Maybe the Oregon Ole Miss
yeah,
first round games are
right.
higher scoring for them,
Yeah, yeah.
but I don't know if anybody else will. I really don't. I don't think they will.
I feel with you there. I'm exactly the same on that. That I feel like it's more of it's going to be more tough games. It'll be close games. It's not going to be a lot of high scoring. But
Mhm.
prove us wrong because all the TV execs and us will like high scoring games, right? I mean,
Well, I think football people like low scoring games where people actually play defense. That's my opinion, but we're football coaches. That's how we see it. You know what I mean? That's
yeah.
how we see it.
At least I like Dallas to score more points, so maybe that's
Well,
and A&M. I want A&M and Dallas to score a lot of points.
a lot of points.
Everybody else could take a dump in an egg. How's about
That's
that?
right. That's right. I like that. That's good.
And if yeah, okay. So anything else on the first round that we should say? I think we've kind of killed it there.
Yeah, I think it's good.
All right. So the next round, that first round, by the way, guys, if you're listening to us and don't have the sheet, is December 19th and 20th. Those
Right.
games are
Mm-hmm.
on those dates. So the next round, the quarterfinals, is December 31st. Looks like New Year's Eve and New Year's. Great time for some football. Love to watch
Mm-hmm.
football with my dad. I'll probably be in Houston doing that. So the first game up is we picked Oregon and now Tech, and that is at noon on the first.
Fight Raiders fight, man. Let's go.
Fight Raiders fight.
Texas
Yeah.
Tech.
Yeah, they got that good defense. They got the Butkus guy. Those two
Mm-hmm.
linebackers look great against Utah. They
They
got
did.
out a little slow, but then they turned it on. That other was it Robertson versus Rodriguez. The linebacker did really well that
Their
game.
defense is so good. Their defense is
Yeah.
really, really good.
So yeah, Red Raiders, Texas Tech. One of the funnest things that I did on a college football game is I went to Tech to watch an A&M game, and we won. And then my roommates and I got on the Texas Tech booster bus and started doing A&M yells, and these old men kicked us off and were
Oh
kicking
my
us in the
gosh.
butt with
That's
their boots.
wild.
It was the
That's
wildest
awesome.
thing, and we were sober, by the way. We just
That's
thought it was
That's
going to
even
be
better. That's
oh,
much better.
it was hilarious. But anyway, go Red Raiders, go Texas. We love it.
That's right.
I'm from Texas, so got to pull that over Oregon. All right. So, and we think that'll probably be a big defensive game shutting Oregon down, right?
Mm-hmm. I would think so. Their defense is really, really good.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we already picked the next one, which was
Mm-hmm.
either Oklahoma or Alabama versus Indiana. That's
Mm-hmm.
on the first at 4 p.m. I don't know. These are probably Eastern times, by the way.
Yep.
We both thought, in Indiana, they're going to get at least to the third round after that bye, right?
Oh, I
So
would
they're
think so.
yeah.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah. So there we go. All right. So the next game is Ole Miss in Georgia on the first at 8 p.m. So there's your primetime game.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's getting what they want here.
Mm-hmm.
I will say without Lane and Kirby Smart over there at Georgia, and that's going to be an easy I'm going to have some peach cobbler.
I would think that the Peach
Yeah,
State's going to win that one.
yeah,
I
the
would
peach.
think Georgia wins that. I think,
Yeah,
or is Ole Miss galvanized because their coach left and they play really really well? I think that Ole Miss is going to be an interesting team to watch because they're either going to play really well or they will tank it. So it'll be
yeah.
interesting to see how that goes.
It'll still be hard against Georgia, but
Oh, Georgia's so good. Yeah.
I think I think that's where it's going. I think yeah. All
Mhm.
right. So we're both picking Georgia. Now, this next game is
Oh
the
man.
Aggies and Ohio State. And, should I pick it or should I not? Do I reverse psychology this one?
Right. Because you want A&M to win
Oh, my
the
God.
national championship
Yeah,
for
I'm
sure.
not, this is an unofficial statement, but yes, I want A&M to win.
For sure.
Uh, yeah, that would be a big, getting deep would be great for us. The first year coach Elko, uh, I wasn't happy when he got hired, but I'm extremely happy now when I watch his press conferences and how he talks about the players and what he's trying to do for the team. Yeah, I'd love to play for him, just the way he's talking and doing things there. So, yeah, I would love the Aggies to win. Unfortunately, I'm not sure
Mm.
that could happen, but
Yeah.
on the
Mm.
bracket, because one of the brackets, I did pick A&M
Nice, as you should. It hurts
because
my heart to pick Ohio State as a Michigan fan, but I picked Ohio State. That was
yeah.
my pick.
Well, on one bracket I did, so I kind of go both. That helps me with the reverse psychology. So we're both picking Ohio State.
Hmm. In one of the brackets, yeah,
I wish the other team gets in. Farmers fight, guys. Farmers fight.
that's right. That's funny.
So if you know what that is. So all right.
One
So
thing I was looking at for Texas A&M, that's basically a home game. That's the Cotton Bowl.
oh yeah.
I mean, it's
Oh my
basically a
God.
home game for A&M. Yeah.
That'll be all maroon. Yeah, that'll be the whole 9 yards. So yeah, Cotton Bowl.
Hmm.
Uh, I've seen a bunch of bowl games there. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, that's definitely a home game.
Oh, for sure.
Okay. Well, this is getting interesting now
Man,
and
now we're to the Final Four.
getting right down to it. The semifinals, this is January 8th through the 9th. We're really pushing football. Are we getting into basketball season?
I
I
mean, we're
guess
already there.
yeah.
We started basketball here
Yeah,
last night.
we're way into it now. All right. So we've got the Red Raiders who are playing some good football right now. Surprised me that they hit number 4, to be quite honest. But
Hmm.
happy that a Texas team and possibly another are in the semifinal round. But unfortunately, they are going to run into the only undefeated team in our top 12
Hmm.
and in this list, Indiana. So, do you think Indiana's Cinderella story stops here against the Texas Tech defense, or do the Red Raiders go to the Red and get pounded by Indiana?
Oh, I'm taking the Hoosiers to win the whole thing. And
So,
whoever would have thought the words Indiana Hoosiers could
Hoosiers
be
football.
national champions or could be potentially national champions? I'd never thought I'd hear that in my lifetime.
I know. I think it was 5 or 6 weeks ago. I'm watching, because I'm not a big college football fan. I'm more into the NFL, and I saw Indiana on some Dan Casey clips, and some folks were talking about, oh, they're playing good ball. They look great. They're undefeated. And I was like, what? Okay, something's happened.
Man,
What?
they're doing it. Yeah, they're doing a
So
great
the
job.
portal and that coach. I
Coach
guess
Signetti, he's
yeah,
awesome.
anybody can do it. So with the right
Hmm.
mindset now, which
Hmm.
is which is great. I think that's great for college football because
Hmm.
for a long time, these powerhouse football teams were able to recruit and do all this stuff, and only players would go there. And now, if you're a great coach and you're a really good recruiter and you've got some NIL money, you can change a program.
very quickly. And
And I
Coach Signetti's not giving other coaches any time to build a program. You have to
and
do it
I'm sure,
now.
right, and I'm sure in Indiana, but isn't Notre Dame in Indiana too, or Purdue?
Yes, Notre Dame's
Yeah,
in South Bend, Indiana.
yeah. So that's everybody thinks they're in Illinois. They're actually in Indiana.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah. So hopefully Indiana is getting a lot of alumni money because there's, I mean, other
Yeah,
than
heck
Notre
yeah.
Dame. Yeah. So they've got something going on there, and they're a powerhouse basketball team. So I'm sure
Hmm.
they've got some heavy recruits. So good for them. I'm trying to say, but unfortunately for my home state Tech, I would love them to be the spoiler, but I don't think they're going to be based on everything I've looked at. So yeah,
Hmm.
Indiana's it.
Let's do it.
Indiana.
Hoosiers.
The Hoosiers are in.
Absolutely.
Great movie, by the way.
That's a great. I may have to watch that this weekend. That's a really
Yeah,
good movie.
I almost watched it the other day. It is such, it's one of those movies when you can't find another movie, and it's like, oh, this will be just as, or if it's on, it's like,
Hmm.
oh, this is, I can't turn this. Gene Hackman, one of my favorite actors, by the
Oh
way,
yes.
just an amazing role there. Uh, that
Mm.
movie and Friday Night Lights are two huge sports movies that are
Oh yeah,
crazy.
and then Remember the Titans for me is one of my favorites too.
That's a good
That's
one
one of my
too.
favorite ones.
That's a good one too. All right, so the number two game for the semifinals is Georgia versus most likely Ohio.
The Ohio State. Oh man, that's going to be a good game. I would think if that game happens.
Yeah. So this one could be quite interesting. Let's see what. Ooh, excuse me. Let's see what AI says again about the Ohio State. Well, once they got a great coach. Uh, they're defending national champions. They get an elite roster. But it does say they're prone to relying over talent versus scheme, and didn't have a few injuries that I
Hmm.
think
They've had some injuries, like
they've
everybody
had.
has. I would
Yeah,
think.
so they've had that. So there's some of that, and then basically Georgia. I think this is what, because this comes to you and I. High octane defense and beautiful running game. That running game, when you're getting deep into
Yes.
championships, along clock management and your defense will get you through tough games, right?
Yeah, I mean, I have Georgia in that game because I
Yep.
think they are just playing excellent football. They're physical, they're tough, they have good talent, obviously, and they're going to be a tough out. That's going to be a tough team to beat.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, that's going to be hard. Even if my Aggies are there, I'd just be happy that they got that far. So I definitely think Georgia and Indiana are the two teams that get us to the championship round on
Absolutely.
January the 19th. So I think that's a Monday night. Yeah, that's a Monday night game on the
That
19th.
and I'll stay up for halftime. I'll stay up till halftime. That'll be in bed.
Uh,
That's a fact.
so yeah, I think well, in both my brackets, I picked Georgia and then I picked Indiana. So I'm kind
Mm.
of,
Hmm.
I could go both ways for me. How about you? What did you do here?
I'm going to take the Hoosiers, and I
Oh,
took Indiana in my first bracket and Ohio State in my second bracket. I'm a Big Ten homer, I guess, even though I grew up in the South. I just like Big Ten football. That's just my preference. So I could be totally wrong, and that's cool too.
yeah. I mean, at this point, I think both teams are going to be happy to where they're at. I mean, luck could probably be on Indiana's side. They've had this Cinderella
Oh my gosh,
story,
they have,
and
haven't
to
they?
continue to go through it. Georgia's just coming off a really tough game, and they're not going to have easy games at Ohio. I think Tech versus Indiana will be probably an easier game for Indiana, but
Hmm.
Georgia and Ohio State might be a tough game, and there could be some injuries there.
Right, right.
So so that helps Indiana at that point, I think.
Hmm. Oh,
So that
absolutely.
that's kind of where I see that. So yeah, well that's that bracket. What do you guys think? Are we totally
Yeah, we need some stuff, some comments in the
yeah,
comment section.
we need some comments down there and let us know what you guys think. We'd love for you to guys go through first round, second round, semis and championships and give us what your thoughts are cuz we don't know it all, but I think we have a
Hmm.
pretty good idea of where it's going to go. Um, so all right, so we know we both feel like yeah, Georgia, Indiana, that's it.
Hmm.
So who could be the spoiler that
Oh
kind of
man.
just gets through? Because there could be one of those. You just never know that
Hmm.
they've peaked and it's gone right.
Mm.
Who do you think that could be?
You know, I think it could be Ole Miss. I think that could be the story of all stories. With their coach leaves, and then they go play in the national championship. And goodness, what if they won the national championship without their without their coach Lane Kiffin, and they go win the thing? That would be something else.
Yeah, I mean that would be the movie that everybody wants to see, right? At the
Oh,
end of
for
the
sure.
day,
Yes.
and then make a movie of that. Yeah, that I mean Indiana has a great story movie too, but yeah, this Lane Kiffin story just goes right through to the
That
very
could
end.
be it.
I mean, the TV executives would be going crazy over that in the press.
Mm-hmm.
So that would
Mm-hmm.
be amazing. I know that the AI gave me a couple, and I thought I do think the Red Raiders,
Yep. That
because they've got
absolutely.
that defense, could be a spoiler. AI says Oklahoma,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
then I think A&M with their defense. There's two big defensive teams. A&M and the two Texas team have pretty difficult defenses.
Yes.
So deep, we offense is for all the glory but the defense wins championships. So will these defensive teams get through these high-powered offenses and bigger teams? So,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think about those teams, Tech
I think
and
I think that's good. I think there's a bunch of good teams in the playoff, obviously, because it's the playoffs, and whoever gets hot is going to win the thing. Whoever gets playing their best football is probably going to win the whole thing, and that'll be
right?
cool because we don't know who that's going to be right now.
Exactly. Exactly. What well, I'd love the Aggies to do it, but I'm not saying that officially because I'm not going to jinx it. But yeah, I think Georgia and Indiana is what we've picked here. Now there are some, and I think we talked to it before the podcast. There are some folks that are really really upset about not getting in, and I couldn't believe it today. I think it started out where Notre Dame said, "You know what? I'm going to cause a ripple within college
Yep.
football and decide I am just not going to
Mm-hmm.
a bowl game." So that was the
Mm-hmm.
first team that stepped up and said, and I thought, well, isn't that interesting? I mean, this is not the first year some teams have done that. And I
Right.
think the portal reason in recruiting is some of that and injuries. So I've seen teams in the past. So are these bowl games that are not part of the system, are those just going to become like the NFL Pro Bowl game and nobody says we're not going to Hawaii to but
Mm.
if you do 7-on-7 maybe we will if we get a
Right.
trip to Montenegro. But yeah, I
Mm.
mean, so then I'm looking at this stuff today. Let me move this to my other screen. Let's see, where did that go? Did I grab the wrong one? But there's 10 other teams.
Yeah, I've read
I
about
would,
Notre Dame today saying they didn't want to play in a bowl game because a bunch of their guys are going to opt out who have NFL potential, and they didn't want to play with
yeah.
a diminished roster.
So
And I
there's
guess if you're a high level Division One team, I get that. But I think the people that don't have that kind of roster, they'll want to play their bowl games. I would think.
well, that's what I thought. But K State, Iowa State have decided their records aren't that good, so there's
Hmm.
safety and players. I guess because of the portal, people leaving Florida State.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You
Well,
know,
Florida
they
State was
actually
what, 3-8 or
five
something
and
like that.
seven, but why are they getting the
5 and
ball?
7.
Auburn at 5 or 7 is opting in. I guess Baylor, Rutgers, Temple, and Kansas. I mean, Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas is kind of like Indiana. Do they have a football team? But wow,
They were
Indiana.
good a couple of years ago. They
Yeah,
were
they
really good a
were.
couple of years
They
ago.
were. They were. They have kind of cool jerseys too. I like
Oh
their
yeah,
their
they
little
definitely do.
logo thing. But yeah, I was surprised to say you got an offer to a bowl game, but you're deciding not to go. I'm trying to decide.
Mm.
Let me ask you: if you're a coach to one of these 5 and 7, let's say you're at Baylor, uh, do you like?
Mm.
I'm not going to go to. I mean, are you going to pull that from your players? I mean, isn't that kind of neat? I don't know. I mean,
Mm.
I yeah. What do you think? Before I think I've already answered it by the way I'm talking about it.
No, I think NIL transfer portal that all has a factor in it now, and it's a new era. And I think bowl games are cool if you haven't been to one in a long time and you're trying to maybe get back. But if you're 5 and 7, you're not even 500. You're losing people to the portal, or you're trying to add players from the portal. Yeah, I can see where people would say I don't want to play in a bowl game, but that's a new thing, right? That's so new to 2025,
Yeah,
2026.
this is a new thing, which gives merit to kind of Gruden's thing for these teams that didn't get picked for the 12 to try to get to 16 to make the bowl games
Mm-hmm.
more important because these bowls that are outside this are no longer kind of like no, we're not going to do it. So
Right,
that's a
right.
whole interesting thing, which I think is yeah, I don't know. I don't know how we do that.
Yeah,
I think yeah, so we were talking about, there's 10 teams that are opting out of the bowl games. It's a new era. And I think that's probably the overall scope of this thing. It's just a new era in college football, and there's going to have to be some big decisions made. I think Trump said the other day he was going to have to get involved, and not sure if we want
that guy likes to talk, doesn't he?
we
Oh my
want that.
goodness.
Yeah, he does. But I do think somebody, and Saban seems to be kind of know how it all works, and that would be an interesting thing for him to maybe come in as a consultant and try to put some things together and
Yeah, I
figure
think
this
he'd be
thing
the
out.
guy. If anybody can
Away,
figure it out, he'll figure it out. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
and away from the politically charged environment, if they would allow him to do that, that would be an interesting kind of thing. So
Oh yeah, no
yeah,
doubt.
maybe him and Belichick, his friend, could figure it out together in a way.
Oh, for sure, that'd be good. Be
All right,
excellent.
dude. Well, I think we hit this one hard. I'm looking
That was
forward
good. I
to
like
it.
that.
I guess we'll do a follow up after the first round, huh? To see how we did. That'll be fun.
We absolutely should. That would be good.
Yeah. Remember to play for fun. Winning is funner. Please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. That helps Zach and I out on all platforms for the algorithms to say, hey, you like the content. I mean, even if you just want to say hi in a comment, that's a big deal. So you don't have to like
Absolutely.
think of some whole novel to write. So just help us out there if you get a chance. I'm Coach Parker. Who are you?
I'm Zach Davis. It's good to be on with you, coach, and we had a fun time doing this.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. See you guys next time.